Hello everybody, this is Peace Talks by Jim Butcher, and this one is a bit different from all the other Dresden books because it's actually mostly peaceful. Not a lot of fighting in this one, not as much action in this one as compared to the others. There's no long drawn out battle scene. So, Harry has a half vampire brother. These are of a psychic variety. He had killed all the regular evil vampires in the world. These ones draw psychic energy out of people, and those people become addicted to them, and he has, again, a half-brother. There are peace talks coming up between all the supernatural natural nations. So you got your fairies and your I can't remember it's called I can't remember how it's pronounced. It's this race that's they look a bit like the gray aliens out of UFO lore, the big black eyes and whatnot, and they're very anal retentive, and they act as really good guards and security people, that kind of thing. But they have a whole nation to themselves. Odin's gonna be there. There's a dragon there, the vampire representative there, you name it, they're there, and they're gonna talk. Well, his brother gets caught and accused of trying to assassinate one of the leaders of the peace talks, and he is imprisoned. Where this peace talk is going to take place is it's actually Harry himself used to live there. Back in a book called Changes, he lost his car, he lost his office, and he lost his home. And upon his home, the kingpin of crime of these books, Marcone, built a home atop of it, or a rather large building atop of it. And that's where the peace talk's going to be, and that just happens to be where they imprison his half-brother Thomas. I'm not a big Thomas fan. It's an interesting dynamic, but character doesn't do that much for me. But that is the gist of it. He has, in the Wizard Council, he has a grandfather, and no one knows that Thomas is his half-brother. Once again, Harry is under control of one of the fairy queens, and he takes on special duties for her. And among these is, well, the remaining vampire queen wants to rescue her brother, who is Harry's half-brother, but that doesn't, I don't think they're related that way. It's just she refers to him that way. Am I getting my relations wrong here? Because that would make Harry and her related, and they're not related in any way. So maybe it's just a word they use of companionship. But maybe I'm missing something there. Maybe they're half-brother and sister, and he's half-brother. I'll have to go back and look through that and get that straight. So the fairy queen that is basically owns him right now says, okay, you're going to work for her and do what she wants, and she gets 3 favors out of you, and one of them, he has to go rescue his brother out of these peace talks, and he's awaiting punishment, and this is just going to turn into a mess like it usually does for Harry. Now, in this, because throughout these books, really, Harry has cavorted with vampires. He has cavorted with the fairies. He's outside of the Wizard's Council, he's got allies and enemies of all kinds. Well, the thing is, Harry saves the day constantly. He has saved the city, he has saved the world, he killed off all the friggin' vampires, and yet, because he's doing what he normally does, maybe it's because he's under the mantle of the fairy queen. Maybe they figure that's a little extra. So when he's driving down the road and 4 wizards pop up who normally call themselves, well, at least one of them calls him a good friend, and he has to veer to not hit them, and he gets out and he starts talking to them, and it's like there's a big showdown going on where they're gonna be like, look, dude, we need to know what's going on. You got a problem, and we're here to fix it. You don't help us. And Harry's like, well, that's none of your business right now. And they act like they're going to have a big fight over it. It's like, Does this guy not get credibility yet? This guy is, as I said, saved the world, saved the city, literally saved millions, if not billions, of people from awful fates. And they're like, what? We gotta watch you, buddy. I'm sorry, the guy's got more credibility than anybody, and they still just treat him with outright disrespect, even the ones who call him his friend, including dumbass grandpa, who, when he confronts, early in the book, he confronts Harry about this, I can't believe you're with this vermin. Now, his grandfather has a little reason to hate vampires, because they cost him someone he loved. Okay, well, that doesn't mean they're all bad, but I kind of get it. They are vampires, but at the same time, this Ebenezer guy, his grandfather, is just about the most stubborn, aggravating thing I can think of in Harry's life. You're stupid, Harry. I'm smart. He projects, because he himself is an arrogant bastard. And at one point in this book, he calls Harry an arrogant bastard. And it just grinds my gears, but that makes for good writing. It's good drama. So, here comes the actual peace talks. And when they get him out, they pull a few magic things. And it is amazing to me that there's a dragon. I wanted to see the dragon again. We get Odin, who is also Santa Claus. I failed to mention, I think, in a previous book. The archive is there. It's the little girl who has all the information in the history of humanity that has ever been written down running in her head. And she's there, too. I'm fascinated by that character, and I want more of her. But regardless, just when they get him out, and they're going to go hide him somewhere, all of a sudden Harry's got to go back in, because these frog-like beings show up. That's a whole other part of the race of the supernatural community. And they go in, and there's this woman that goes in. And she is referred to as a Titan. I'm not going, I believe it's pronounced Ethnayu is her name. And she appears to be like twice the height of everybody. In order to talk to Odin, she got down on one knee to look him in the eye. But she strolls into this peace talks, just dumps on him. She kicks the fairy queen, who herself is extraordinarily powerful, right through a series of walls. She informs everybody, this is done, it's over, I'm invading, we're gonna make these people fear us on this earth like they're supposed to. Now, wizards have a little problem with technology. They don't own smartphones because that technology will cease to function. They don't own modern cars because they'll break down. Harry has a very old, ancient car made during World War II, so it can just run just fine while he drives it. Well, you can do it on purpose, and it's called a hex. So if somebody's on the phone and you want them off the phone, you can hex it and it'll break down. Well, she unleashes this hex that shuts down Chicago, the whole city, cars, phones, buildings, lights, sirens, everything shuts down. And she is going to return with something called the Eye of Baelor, which is some kind of, well, I don't know if it's a nuclear explosion type thing, but it is a weapon of massive magical destruction. And she's leaving to go apparently get it, bring her army through, and use the sucker on all these people. Harry needs to get his brother. He is the warden of this magical island just off the shore of Chicago, and get him there. And he winds up, Thomas is so beaten down and destroyed that Harry can't really help him. So instead he puts him in a stasis prison that he can use on the island for that thing. And he wants to try to use that on this Titan when she returns. He has to get to her, put a magical circle around her, and wham, he can teleport her magically to the island and imprison her there, because the island itself can project some sentience. It has an avatar, and it says, I can hold her if you can get her here. So that seems to be the goal of the next book. One big thing that happens in this. Finally, 16 books later, Harry and Murphy get together for real. It happens. Now, she is injured from the previous book, so it's a little awkward and they have some difficulties, but she's like, I don't care, we're doing this. And they get together. He even calls her a girlfriend. They are together. They are a couple. And he wanted her to leave for this big horrid battle that's going to happen, but she's like, no, I'm a warrior too. We're staying. She has this is the funniest moment in the book. Here we go. So they go to talk to the vampire queen, and Murphy, with Harry and Murphy. And she has Valkyries, right out of mythology, guarding her premises. Well, one of them starts hitting on Murphy. And, you know, this is, as Harry points out, this is a woman who she's faced down some of the same supernatural monsters that he has without fear and without superpowers of any sort. And here she is getting embarrassed and turning red just because this woman, and she's looking at him for rescue and whatnot. It's the funniest thing. And she's like, I don't care, I'll share Murphy with you. And so I don't think that's going to happen, honestly, reading through the book, but it's just funny. I don't think I'm forgetting too much. Do I look at my notes or do I rack my brain? I'm going to look. And the thing for, no, that's about it. That really is all of it. And so, like I said, not a lot. Oh, I did forget something. So Ebenezer, when they're going to take Thomas to the island, they get on their boat and they're about to head out. And Ebenezer shows up and he goes, no, I'm killing that Berman. It's Berman. He goes off like a full-on, just like a hate-filled bigot. And Harry is able to trick him, but finally he informs him, well, the vermin you're referring to is actually your grandchild. So you got 2 grandchildren, and that just floors the guy. And you know, hopefully that means there's going to be some character development here for that guy, because you know, he kind of pisses you off, but you know, that's what makes things good. And so maybe he's gonna turn away from his, because it's just this pig-headed rage that goes through him. And him and Harry do battle, and he beats Harry, but it turns out to not really be Harry. The way he tricks him is really cool. So on to the next, 17th. This is the last one that is currently published. I do not know when a book 18 is on its way. There's supposed to be a total of 25, so we got a ways to go. But it took me a couple months, but I will be caught up when I am done with this book. Things are about to get serious for Battleground, because I guess we're going to have a big fight here. Things are about to get serious for Harry Dresden, Chicago's only professional wizard. Harry has faced terrible odds before. He has a long history of fighting enemies above his weight class, the Red Court of Vampires, the fallen angels of the Order of the Black and Denarius, the Outsiders. But this time it's different, of being more powerful and dangerous on an order of magnitude beyond what the world has seen in a millennium is coming, and she is bringing an army. The last Titan has declared war on the city of Chicago and has come to subjugate humanity, obliterating any who stand in her way. Harry's mission is simple, but impossible. Save the city by killing a Titan, and the attempt will change Harry's life, Chicago, and the mortal world forever. I'm almost wondering now, because the world turns its eye on the supernatural for the most part, and so it's not really publicly known that all these beings are there waging their wars and having their drama. So I'm almost wondering now if this is gonna open the eyes of the world to the supernatural, and the rest of the books will be the Earth having to deal with all that business. Sounds good. So maybe by Sunday I'll be all done with that one. Thank you very much. Enjoy your rest of your weekend. Bye bye now.